So we haven't done one of these in a while. Here is how commands work. Today I'm going to be discussing a very important one, especially for map makers, the /gamerule command. Right, to get a list of all the game rules you press space and then tab after writing the command that I just wrote. And here are all of them. So some of them are going to get a brief mention, others will go into more detail. First one is command block output. Now this is really annoying when people forget to set this. If I set the command block output to true, which is on by default, you will see that a message has come up because the command blocks will tell you what is going on. So if I have this set block command, it's telling me every little detail. But if I were to turn it to false by pressing /gamerule command block output false, and yes, the capitalization and spelling is important, I'm going to press this, and if I do a command, then you'll see that nothing comes up down here. Now let's get some mentioning of some other game rules. Mob spawning when set to false, it will stop mobs from spawning naturally. This is on by default. Spectators generate chunks. When this is off, it will stop me from going into spectator mode and generating more chunks. Now this is very useful for PvP maps when you don't want your spectators causing lag in your world. That's on by default though. Do daylight cycle. If this is set to false, then the sun and the moon won't be spinning automatically, and so it's off in this world and it's going to be daytime forever. Send command feedback. Now if you haven't noticed, if I were to go game mode 0, it's going to tell me that my game mode's been updated. So if I go game rule send command feedback false and then go game mode 1, it's not going to tell me that anymore. Let's do that again so you can see game mode 0, nothing happens, game mode 1. So let's send that back to true, and as you can see, it's giving me some feedback on my commands. Log admin commands is exactly what it says. If you're an administrator, then it's going to log the commands there. Do entity drops affects things such as minecarts. So if I were to set this to false, then upon breaking this minecart, I won't get the minecart item, as you can see there. A similar thing is do tile drops. I haven't actually listed that here. Let's put that in. Do tile drops. Actually no, that's coming up. Alright, anyway. Do fire tick stops fire from spreading. Random tick speed is like your growth of wheat, the spreading of grass to dirt. So let's do an experiment here. Now this does not take a true or false reading. This is a numerical value. If I were to go game rule random tick speed 0, this grass is never ever going to spread to the dirt because it's just given up doing checks. Similar with wheat growing, any crop growing, and trees growing and leaves decaying, this is all the case. But if I were to set it to 100, you will see soon that it's going to spread very quickly. How about 1000 then? Doesn't seem to want to be doing it today. There we go. So yeah, it's very quick. Normally it's set to 3. So if you just want it to be normal, just set it to 3. 0 is also very good for lag optimization. And then we have reduced debug info. This is great for adventure maps. As you can see, when I press F3, I'm flooded with information. But if I go game rule reduce debug information false, and get the screen back up here, actually no, true, sorry, then it actually deletes the coordinates here and a whole bunch of other things as well. Now this is the prophesized do tile drops. If we set this to true, then when this block gets destroyed, it's going to drop a dirt, so the tile drops are on, so this is technically a tile. However, if I turn it off with this command right here, turn it to false, and break the block, you will see that it doesn't drop an item. Next up we have the show death messages. So if I were to die, this is setting it to true, then it's going to tell me, well, Dragon 14 has fallen out of the world. However, if I turned death messages off and then kill myself, then as you can see, it doesn't tell me that. You will also know that I kept my inventory when I did that. If this is set to true, then this will happen. It's off by default, so if I go game rule keep inventory false and then kill myself, you will see that I lose all my items unless this is set to true. So that's also very useful for adventure maps. Wouldn't recommend it for survival because it's kind of cheaty, but anyway, that's subject to opinion. Let's move on. This is important. This is the mob griefing. Let's set mob griefing to false. As you can see, there's a creeper in here. Let's press this button to set it to false. And if I detonate this creeper, it doesn't actually blow up anything. because I've turned off mob griefing, and this applies to villagers farming and endermen picking up blocks, for example. Now if we put that in here, turn mob griefing on, set it to true, which is the default, and then set this guy off, kablam, bleeds a giant hole in your world. And then finally, the last one we're going to talk about is do mob loot. Now this is going to set it to true. So this is what normally happens when you kill a mob, it will drop some items. Okay, so yeah, it dropped experience. That's one of the things that's classed as loot. So let's kill it again. It should drop some gunpowder. Wow, this is really a terrible demonstration, but trust me, it will drop gunpowder. If I get lucky, there we go. However, if we turn the mob loot off and summon in a creeper, then once we kill it, it's actually not going to drop anything. Not even experience. The last command, gamerule natural regeneration false. Let's see what this does. Alright, so normally because my hunger bar is full, I would regenerate health. But this isn't the case because I just disabled that. So this is great for a game mode called Ultra Hardcore where you don't regenerate health at all. And the only way to regenerate it is by using potions or golden apples or whatnot. So let's go gamerule natural regeneration true and see what happens. As you can see, I immediately start regenerating health. So thanks everyone for watching this episode of How Commands Work. I know it's been a very, very long time since last time, but I should be back from Fiji very soon. So look forward to future episodes and me trying to read your millions of comments. But for now, thanks everyone for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care.